Hi, Haley Sawyer, Orange County Register. I know Gary Patterson is really good at taking players and moving them to another position and having them be successful. I'm not saying that any of your guys are changing positions or putting that thought out there, but just what are those discussions like? Like, what's that process when there might be a thought that one guy might be a better fit at a different spot?
Yeah, that hasn't come up yet. Right now, we're in the merging stage of our defensive staff, just trying to get all of our minds together. So that part has not come up yet. I really like everyone in my room, so it would be a heated discussions if it does come up. But we're going to do whatever's best for the defense. And good questions, not there yet.
Shaun, what was important to you about coming back to this defensive staff? Obviously, new coordinator, things can change. And what was that time like as an assistant, not knowing who the coordinator was going to be? How do you balance that, thinking about your own future?
Great question. When the longer you're in this business, the better you are at taking care of what's present at the current moment. Yes, it's hard because you got to look at the future and all that stuff, but things happen fast. You guys saw right for the bowl game, there was a lot of changes. So, but the one thing that there was no question is where I want it to be. This is USC. This is where you want to. This is where you work to get to. You know what I mean? So when you're at a place like this, especially it's a dream place for me, there's no other question if I want to be here or not. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of taking care of my job at that moment. So when there were things happening, I just wanted to do my best in everything that was coming up that day. You know, what was today's task was. So I get the question, you know, but December, January in our profession, it's a crazy time. But who can stay dialed in and just try to do the best they can what that day's asked of, you know what I'm saying, if that makes sense. So it was crazy, but I'm better now at just staying focused, dialed in on the day's task.
Hey, Coach, what can you tell us about Luke Wafel now that you've spent more time around him?
I mean, eventually everybody thinks he's the number one player in the country now for a reason. So he has the potential, he has the talent, he has the mentality and the character. So it's our job to make sure that we maximize that in a consistent basis. So very excited for Luke. There's a reason why we went all the way out there to get him because of what he can bring to the team.
Are there going to be any significant changes on how your guys are used in Gary Patterson's system versus what you guys used last year?
Not really. It's still stop the run and get after the quarterback. It's still as simple as that. Terminology might be a little bit different, but the mission and the task at hand is still the same. Set strong edges, stop the run, and get after the quarterback. It's as simple as, I know it sounds really, really simple. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's that simple of what we're trying to get these guys to do. Yeah. Go ahead.
You're now working for your third defensive coordinator here. What's that like when you find out who the next defensive coordinator is? What are the next steps for you? Do you go and introduce yourself to that coordinator? Like, how does it all work? What do you do once you hear who your new boss is?
You better introduce yourself. He's your new boss, you know? But yeah, it's you want to find out what their mentality is like, what their learning philosophy is, what their leadership philosophy is, what their schematic philosophy is. You want to learn as much as you can about that person, because the idea is you want to get aligned fast. Get aligned fast as a staff so that way you can master what you're trying to teach the players, and hopefully the players, not hopefully, you better get the players aligned as well and attack it. It's like all ships aiming at the same target and we attack. So when you find out who your new defensive coordinator is, you want to get aligned as soon as possible and master what we're trying to get just from a schematic, leadership as well. So it's been fun.
Kind of piggybacking off of that, how different, if at all, does Gary Patterson's defense treat or defensive ends, or what sort of traits are they different from past DCs you've worked with?
The one thing that Coach Patterson has done well in the past is just maximize the talent that he had. You know what I mean? And he's going to do the same thing here. It's really not that much different. It's just great coaches always adapt to what they have, and that's what Coach has been doing for a long time. So he's going to do the same thing here, and it's still set strong edges. Either we're playing straight, we're moving. At the end of the day, you got to stop the run and rush the passer. So it's not that much different. It's just the vocabulary is a little bit different. But other than that, it's the same mission.
Coach Eric Henderson was so close with all the defensive linemen. How have you seen his departure affect that group?
It's always hard when there's changes, always hard, because that's why Eric was a great recruiter, because he recruits from the heart and he gets connected with the players. So it's hard, but it's like us coaches. December, January, there's a lot of changes. You got to find a way to move on fast. And I think these young men have done a great job of moving on fast. And that's actually what Coach Henderson has told them before he left. Move on. You know what I mean? Like, get your minds right and just move on. The faster you move on, the better you can handle the next task. So I think Coach Henderson's very unselfish at the way he's done things and how he departed, but it helped these guys with the transition.
It's come up a couple times, this, merging of coaches, having the same mindset, whole 9 yards. Is that something that happens organically, or is there something that you guys do individually to kind of help that along?
Can you ask that again?
Like bringing the coaching staff together, how does that happen?
The strength of the wolf is the pack, strength of the pack is the wolf. You got to make sure you as an individual put the team first, put your unit first, put the defense first. So if you do that, it's not hard to merge together. It's not hard at all, but you have to put yourself second, third, fourth, maybe even fifth on the list behind the team or the unit.
In the last 5 weeks, you guys have been looking at your players, looking at the recruits that you brought in, and just what's your assessment on how much playing time some of these younger guys like a Luke Wafel, a Tom, Braden Jones, and Jamian Winfield and so on will maybe be needed as freshmen?
Yeah, depth is the greatest friend you can have in the course of the season. You know what I mean? Like, you got to develop depth. Like last year, look, we really had only 3 really ready-made defensive ends. You know what I mean? So now we have an opportunity to have some guys fill in the role, so that way our depth is not as too big of a drop-off. You know what I mean? Now we got Luke Wafel, Simote, all those guys can really help right away. Usually you don't want to rely on freshmen coming in, but this is a freshman class that I think can handle whatever we're going to ask of them. Now, there's some guys in between that are not freshmen, not seniors, obviously, but like it's fun when you have that depth, when you have the potential. They haven't arrived yet, including Luke. They haven't arrived yet, but it's exciting and encouraging with their abilities that they have, especially from a mentality standpoint.
What do you anticipate Mote ending up?
He's playing defensive end right now. Yep.
Coach, you'll be working with Skylar Jones. He'll be inside now. You're staying outside. Talk about, working with him these past few years and in your communication.
Man, I think that's a great story. Someone that just always worried about where their feet are at the moment. And I've seen him work for 2 years. I've been there before a long time ago. And that's exactly how you want to approach it. Just do your best. You do your best so that way you can get an opportunity. And this is a great opportunity for Coach Jones, and he's earned it. He deserves it, and I'm excited to work with him. Like we've worked here for 2 years, and I watched this guy grind. So it's very exciting for me to work with him.
Developmental players. You find yourself in a role kind of help develop a mentor, a young coach coming up.
Man, I think being a mentor and a coach to the players is one of the greater honors besides being a father. You know what I mean? But to be a coach to these players. Now you're saying to mentor another grown man as a coach, that's up there with all of them. So if I could be of help to any of the young coaches, that's a great honor for myself. It's just like Coach Riley is a leader for us, Coach Patterson. That's what you do. That's what you do in life. You learn how to lead, and once you're in the leader position, you help develop the young guys as much as you can, as best as you can.
What can you tell us about Coach Jones, how he works, the type of coach he is?
You want to get into this business any way you can. Either you're a great recruiter, you're a strong relationship guy with the players, great developer in the football field, whatever it is. Be a janitor. You've seen crazy stories of head coaches right now where they started and where they're at. And that's something Coach Jonah has done a great job of. It's just from the recruiting standpoint, and then the relationship he has with his players, and then now he's in development stage of it for the players, and that's why he's got a shot, and that's why it's so exciting to see the same old story. Start from the bottom and get to the top. You get your opportunity, take advantage of it, and see where it goes.
You've worked with a lot of talented defensive ends at this point in your career. What is it about Luke? What does he bring to the table from day one that we'll see translate, maybe even right away?
No matter what business you're in, no matter what profession you're in, you always start with mindset. And that young man's mindset and mentality, his makeup is up there. Like, he's tough, intelligent, and just willing to work. And the thing that you see out there, he's always putting himself on the line with all the conditioning stuff. He'll give you everything he got. And if you have the mindset, you're always going to get attention. Scott, hold up for my man.
Yeah, this isn't going to be related. This isn't going to be related to any of your defensive players or someone. But I know you have a really close relationship with Coach Dog, and can you just offer up your thoughts on how vital he is to this program?
Dog is going to be a future star GM, because again, his mindset to work and his ability to connect with people, not just recruits, parents, coaches all across the country. This young man has a big heart. That's why when we lose one of the guys he recruits, it really hurts him. But that's what you're looking for in business: people that lead with their heart and also have the intellect to get the job done in his profession. And I have a strong relationship with Dog just from a personal standpoint, but my job also is to help develop him. So I tell him, like, you got to aim high. And I truly believe he's going to be a future star GM.